Hello people, this is the second video to the series. Taking some of the criticism from the previous video, let me just say that I don't promote the idea of dating at all. All the risks involved from engaging in the dating game are taken by yourselves, understanding full well what the risks are to your personal life, freedom and sanity. So by me saying that I believe you're not children and you can do your own thing by weighing the pros and cons, that should be enough for you to understand that there are risks involved by you guys engaging in the dating game. Today we will focus on the emotional vulnerability that you have as a male and how you want to show this vulnerability to your dating partner. Men are obviously seen as robots the majority of the time, and if you have also been in relationships, you would have occasionally been accused that you were emotionally dead or you didn't share your emotions with your woman. At some point this conversation always comes up. They want to see that you're truly human. So they force you to show your emotions and who you truly are as a person underneath all that facade that you portray to the outside world. So one of the sure ways to get a woman to hate you and detest you and find you repulsive is to show that emotional vulnerability that you keep away from the world. And I will explain what I mean by that in this video. So let's jump right into it. I have made a video before about the emotional vulnerability of males. In that video I said that men need to fully embrace ourselves and we need to fully accept our emotions. It's imperative to understand that your emotions are a part of you and they are important to accept as being an important part of you. These emotions should be experienced and they should be fully accepted as what they are. I have seen too many emotionally stunted men who have pushed all those emotions down that they almost look constantly constipated. But there is a time and place to show your emotions. Your emotions of anger, love, anticipation, anxiety, depression are yours and yours alone, and they are the irrational part of you. But you can't truly be yourself if you are unable to fully embrace them, experience them, and accept them. But everything has a time and place, and the place is never in a relationship. Women will commonly want to see your emotional world. Men commonly confuse this as the woman wanting to see their weaker side. But women don't want to see that. They want to know how you persevered through difficult emotions and occurrences in your life that would otherwise crush any woman or any other man. They want you to be a winner. They, in essence, want to see how, as a man, you're unable to be controlled by those emotions, but you are instead in control of them. The emotional aspect of you is irrelevant to the game. Sure, you can show a woman that you care about her at least and you want her to be well, I guess. But other than that, all other emotions are irrelevant to her. The importance of a woman to a man's life has always been advertised as a life partner that would love you through thick and thin, through the good times and the bad, right? And as such, men try to show these women the bad times and expect them to like them just the way they are. This is simply not true. If anything, it is no one's business what's going on in your emotional world. It is no one's business how life is for you. That inner world should be for your close buddies and yourself. No woman will ever understand you, and even if she does, every time she does, something dies inside of her. An arrogant and emotionless bastard, or one that puts out the image of that person, is one that is going to be more attractive to women. An emotionally unstable guy as well, raging from anger, depression, love and hate, is also more attractive than a regular guy who is stable the majority of the time. And this is because the second guy is indeed unpredictable and creates an atmosphere of uncertainty. Both the stages that I described, the stages that women find attractive, are inherently unhealthy. But if you're going to be something, be stable. Be stable most of the time and experience life at its fullest when you are without her. You have those compartments in your brain, and when you're trying to experience loss, grief, sadness, the emotions that drain the life out of you, you should do it on your own, and you should keep those emotions in a compartment when you are with a woman. Talk about those emotions over a chat and a beer with your friends, and try to fully embrace the sanctity and the disgusting meaninglessness of life, I guess. A woman hates weakness, especially if you're arrogant and cocky as I am in real life. I realized that my inner world was not compatible with a woman's view of how I should be as a man. Difficult moments in life come unpredictably and hit you when you least expect it. Sometimes things are simply difficult and all you want to do is complain about them. And the reality is that if you want to do that, you cannot do that with a woman. If you want to do that, then you need to have a plan in place as to how you will deal with the problems in your life. There always needs to be something that you can do about the problems in your life. A woman wants a winner after all. I remember distinctly this moment in my life where I was dating this girl for a year and a half or so, and I felt that I reached some sort of an emotional bliss with her. As I was lying down on the floor with her back home on the grass while looking at the stars, being all romantic and things, I wanted to tell her everything that was going on in my head. Back then I had another death in the family and I never quite dealt with it. I felt I needed to be strong for the rest of my family because the death came as a shock to everyone. So I felt that I could express my emotions with her, and I broke down in the company of this woman. The look of disbelief and forced affection that did not come out of her naturally, made me regret ever showing any emotion to women. And that is the truth. Women will detest a weak man, a man with emotions, and as you're growing older, you learn that there is a time and place for everything, and the place is never with a woman. Perhaps a woman that you're dating, seeing, sleeping with, meeting out, for the first time for coffee or drinks is not the appropriate person to do this. You learn this as you go on in your life, so please take my advice and understand that I am speaking the truth about this. Your replacement mother is an illusion. Try to remember that. In fact, dating is not a game of honesty for its most part. Yes, be yourself, do the things that you want and let a woman follow you, but don't show a woman the full you. Do not reveal too much about you. Keep the sacred parts of you for you and for your close friends. If you refuse to believe that women hate your weakness and find it repulsive, as a friend of mine, the only female friend that I know who has so far accepted that women find weakness repulsive, said, think of it as a transaction. When the police arrest you, they tell you anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Therefore, think of any interaction with a woman to be just that. I know it's a bit much, but your inner world, your weaknesses and worries are not there to be shared. Anything you share will be used against you. It will not be thrown back at you in any way. This is not how they do it, but it will push your value down, and it will make that woman less attracted to you. The reality is that a man should not care what emotions he shows to women, generally speaking. But the reality of the matter is that a man that shows all his worries, all his weaknesses, all his emotions to women is a man too eager to share everything with that woman. Above all, remember that a man walks this earth alone. The illusion is to think that you will find an equal partner that will help you navigate the world. I met few women who are able to recognize that men are truly human and they have weaknesses and worries. The reality is that in your eyes, women look up to find a leader, a captain, to help them navigate their ship of life as well. If you can't navigate your own ship, how can you navigate hers? There is not that much else that needs to be understood other than that. Therefore, understand this. If you're looking for an equal partner, if you're looking for love and affection that is not displayed in any other way that's sexual, then understand that you will not find this through dating. The reality is that the only woman that is likely to care about you in this way is your mother, and even that is not always the case. Do not think that this separation of emotions will ever stop being important. Do not be fooled in thinking that at some point you will be able to share everything, because you won't be able to. There always needs to be this wall that separates men and women, even in relationships. If the woman complains that you're keeping her at arm's length, ignore her complaints and simply move on. This is one of the biggest shit tests that men keep failing. Understand that the importance of friends in relationships exists because of this very reason. Men who ditch their friends in favor of a woman invariably find themselves sharing too much with that woman, and they end up reaching the end of their relationship alone and without any support, and their entire world collapses along with that relationship. We have too many men in MGTOW that have gone through that, and we don't need any more. Try to learn from their stories. Thank you for listening. That's all I had to say.